this edition of Sports Card ASMR, we are going back to an old staple, 1987 Topps Rack Pack. We're going to crinkle, we're going to rip, and for the first time, we're going to clip. That's right. Welcome to Sports Card ASMR, the channel that combines sports card nostalgia and ASMR relaxation. I'm the sports card doctor, and I'm really happy that you are here today with us. Let's get ready to have some fun while we relax with baseball cards from a golden era. Well, golden if you were Gen X and thought baseball cards were never going to depreciate in value. We'd like you though to consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a nice thumbs up or like, comment, or hyping up the video. Tell your friends about us. Leave a super thanks if you want to help support the channel. If you want to mail us anything to open up, there's an address listed in the description down below. We really appreciate it. In fact, I'd say people who have mailed in things, special shout out to Ranger Donald, have kept the channel going over the years. So we really appreciate that. But we're also just happy you're here. And let's do it. Let's crinkle. Let's open up this pack of 87 Topps Rack Pack Edition. I think 1987 Topps might be the most opened baseball cards on this channel. We kind of started the channel with a box of 1987 Topps. So I like returning to them every now and then. Funny. Let's see what we got here. First up, Domingo Ramos, if you like utility infielders. Turning back the clock to Ricky Anderson. Brewers leaders, Tim Flannery, Jose Cruz, Dave Leeper, future star Rafael Palmeiro, right. Well, his career took a little interesting turn, but don't point, kids. Max Venable, blurry Dennis Lamp. That is such a blurry card. Like my focus is actually, it's not the camera for once, it's Dennis Lamp. Craig Reynolds looking like he just discovered a cockroach in the pantry and he's trying to get out fast. Ooh, this was the 1987, kids. You wanted this one. Topps Gold Cup rookie there, Todd Warrow. Tom Bashorek looking like he's an extra on the TV show Yellowstone, just staring off into the horizon. True story, he was about 36 in this photo, I think. Mike Trio, Rangers, Leaders, Dave Concepcion, Rod Scurry, and Daryl Porter in glasses that for many years made him look unhip, but now he looks like a hip coffee barista, making your day better. All right. A couple good cards there to set aside. Darnell Coles, my apologies. Reds leader with a little Pete Rose on there. Goddamn checklist. Alright, Lance Parrish. Great catcher there. Rich Yet. I've yet to hear of him. Bob Tewksbury. Jim Dwyer. Bob Dernier, Dave Gumpert. Look, the bad news is your last name is Gumpert. The good news, you made it to the majors, kid. Greg Nettles, the former Yankee. I'm a Yankee fan. Appreciate what he did for us, winding down his career here. I think he'd have cups of coffee with Montreal and Atlanta before it finished. John Mizarok. Fernando, oh, that's a great card, the late great Fernando Valenzuela. We do love Fernando around here. Rest in peace, buddy. Mets leaders, I loved this card as a kid because that's my favorite guy. Gary Carter, Darryl Strawberry. There's a lot of nostalgia in that card, right? Rob Murphy, Luis Aquino, and Charles Hudson. Right. Moving along here. We know we got a Franklin Stubbs. Are we going to get another Barry Bonds rookie, 87 Topps? We have a lot of those. Are we going to get a Bo Jackson future star? We have a lot of those. What about a Mark McGwire, Jose Canseco? We don't have as many of those, though. The McGwire. Yeah, there's the McGwire in this one, right? I think so. Not the update, right? Well, let's find out. We got Tom Niedenfuhr there of the Dodgers. Cardinal fans love him. Terry Harper, Marty Barrett, last out in the 86 World Series. Greg Gagne, Bill Duran, Orlando Mercado, Walt Terrell, Hubie Brooks, Michael Jack Schmidt. All right, not a bad card there. We'll take it. Take it. Oh, Tommy Lasorda. We'll set aside Tommy there. We got Claudel Washington of my Yankees. The late Donnie Moore, tragic story there. Great closer there. Dave Stapleton, who maybe many feel should have been playing first base instead of Bill Buckner. And we got Sid Bream in his Pittsburgh Pirate days before he'd go on to Atlanta and break the hearts of the entire city of Pittsburgh. Dave Anderson and the aforementioned Franklin Stubbs. Well, we got a lot of cards there. What, 48 cards in the pack? 48 cards. And I'd say these are most fun, if not a little valuable cards there. Lasorda, Schmidt, Valenzuela, Warrell, and Rafael Palmeiro. So we'll set that aside there, but yeah, what are the other triggers we love around these parts are our scissors. We love cutting things. Yes, we do. And I figured, keeping with our traditions around here, one of our earliest traditions was cutting up cards. I'm going to cut up a couple cards here. Alright. Now I like Sid Bream. I got nothing against Sid Bream. But we're going to cut up Sid for the city of Pittsburgh. I still have friends of mine, some good Yinzers, who just can't even stand the sight of a Sid Bream card because of him scoring that winning run for the Braves in the 91 NLCS. Let's cut him up. Right down the center to clear it. This is for you, Pittsburgh. There we go. You know what? Marty Barrett might feel a little guilty for being that last out in the '86 World Series, but it wasn't his fault. So maybe for Marty's sake, we'll cut out the bad mojo and the bad vibes. Let's do it. There you go, Marty. Preserved. Ready to move forward in life. Alright. A couple more cards we'll cut here. Comfort. Oh, did I miss that early? I did miss that one earlier. I was so caught up on the checklist. Card transfer. Right. You know, I hate checklists. Why do we need checklists? This is for all the little kids in 1987 that saved up their allowance money, went to the card shop or the comic shop or the five and dime, got a pack of cards, and one of them was a goddamn checklist. Normally I cut up the Pete card, but rest in peace. Alright, you know what, Darryl Porter? Here's your moment in the spotlight. World Series MVP catcher at one point. Let's highlight how good those glasses are. They're hipster glasses now. But back then they were... What's the opposite of hip? They weren't even hip to be square. I always remember thinking, why? That's a pro athlete. Why does he wear those glasses? Like, what's going on there? But Darryl, you're hip now, buddy. I actually grew up liking Darryl Porter. He was a great catcher, and good story. He came back from some personal problems to play some good ball. All right. Yeah, since Dennis Lamp can't see here, let's cut him up. All right, there we go. I think this is what we'll do right here. Since this is a nice turn back the clock card on Rick Anderson? What if we tried to cut out this Rick Anderson and convince ourselves that we got this 1982 Rick Anderson in the back? Look at that. We did it. We got ourselves a Ricky Anderson. What a fun little adventure we went on here today. Glad you're here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time here on Crinkle, Rip, and Clip on Sports Card ASMR.